This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Sitting in tonight, Carol Simpson.
Good evening. There was another jolt of disappointing economic news today, this time about jobs. Employers eliminated nearly 250,000 jobs last month. The overall unemployment rate held steady at 6.8%, but that was only because another 300,000 Americans were apparently so discouraged they stopped looking and are no longer counted in the workforce. Said the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Greenspan, these are highly uncertain times. We begin with our economics editor, Stephen Ogg.
With consumers spending less this year, retailers are hiring less extra help for the holidays. The result? 110,000 fewer retail jobs last month alone. Construction, which is also suffering in the recession, lost 95,000 jobs.
The November data certainly show some deterioration and sluggishness. There's no doubt about that.
It's not just retailing and construction. Layoffs this fall have been widespread. The collapse of Midway Airlines and Pan Am is adding nearly 12,000 workers to the unemployment lines, and layoffs affect the whole economy.
The problem is that when somebody gets laid off, they're somebody else's customer. And when they don't have money to spend on the products they've been buying, that's going to affect the whole economy, really. And that's exactly what's been happening.
It happened to Michael White, a computer analyst who did find work again. He was unemployed for only a few weeks before he got a job as a marketing manager. But like many others in his situation, his new job pays less than his old one.
Well, I haven't bought anything new in a long time. Okay, and that you bypass the simple things are what go away first. You don't go buy new socks. You don't go buy new shirts. You definitely don't go buy new, great-looking ties.
Like White, many younger workers face an uncertain future, more likely going from job to job rather than staying with one company for a career. Corporate America's changing. Under pressure to raise profits, businesses are cutting jobs once thought to be permanent. Engineers and designers are being replaced by computers. Fewer middle managers are needed. Even after the recession, many companies will be run by a small core of permanent employees, hiring temporary workers only for as long as they need them. Stephen Ogg, ABC News, Washington.
Something else has changed with the economy. There was a time when the weeks before Christmas were a kind of protected zone. Employers would bend over backwards to avoid laying off workers before the holidays. Not anymore. Here's ABC's Judy Muller.
Larry Markwitz's children used to see him off to work in the morning. Now he sees them off to school. The 53-year-old was laid off last month from his job as an executive at a major cosmetics firm. He has 6 children, including 2 in college and 2 in private school.
It's a very scary time of year to go into knowing that the holiday season is coming and I don't have a job.
It means possibly not being able to live where we're living, our children not going to the school that they go to. So it's a complete, upheaval.
The Markwitz have plenty of company. According to a man who keeps track of such things, corporations are laying off an average of 2,400 people a day, the highest rate ever during the holiday season.
Not only are people losing their jobs, but they're losing their health care benefits, they're being reduced to part-time. It's a very bad time in the workplace, and it's going to sour this Christmas season as never before.
At one executive search firm, the number of resumes coming in is 4 times the number of last year's holiday season.
There used to be corporate cultures that cared, and they've dissipated dramatically in very recent times.
While more companies are handing out pink slips during the holidays, those contacted by ABC News were reluctant to talk about it.
A spokesman for McDonnell Douglas told us, quote, "This subject is a sensitive and painful one, and we have chosen not to talk on camera."
Just before Thanksgiving, McDonnell Douglas announced 2,000 layoffs, with more to come next year. To those who thought they were part of a corporate family, the layoffs smacked of betrayal.
You work for them and you try to, do your job the best, to their advantage, and this is how you get paid back for it.
There is a profound message in all of this, and that is that in the future, we all have to think of ourselves as little independent businesses. And the day when we could look up at our employer and think of that employer as a kind of surrogate parent, that day is over.
Meanwhile, those real parents without jobs already have learned that when it comes to layoffs, no time of the year is sacred anymore. Judy Muller, ABC News, Los Angeles.
The news about jobs today was sufficiently gloomy that the Federal Reserve apparently felt it necessary to give the economy a boost. It lowered the federal funds rate, the interest rate that banks charge each other for short-term loans, to 4.5%. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrials lost 2.5 points to close at 2886. The trading was heavy. For the week, stocks lost more than 8 points. In a moment, Senator Kennedy takes the stand at the William Smith rape trial. Also, small towns turning to speed traps as a way to raise money during hard times. And our person of the week, a marathon man.